Today we are going to have an in-depth overview of Microsoft Excel and identify all the important features that can help Excel users to manipulate Microsoft Excel on the computer desktop. And this special program was designed by Microsoft Corporation, and today we are going to look at the necessary features of Microsoft Excel that can help us to operate this particular program. Now, to have this program, you have to open it on your desktop. We are going to learn in different ways how to launch Microsoft Excel on our computer system. The first approach is to move to your taskbar. If you have the program pinned to your taskbar, you're going to have the icon on your taskbar, and as you can see on my computer desktop, I have the icon on my taskbar. So if I want to launch Microsoft Excel, I just have a once click on this icon, and I'm going to have the starting page of the program. If you don't have the program on your taskbar, you can move to the start button, and when you move to the start button, you're going to have this start menu, and under the most used pane, I have Microsoft Excel shown here because I used to work with this particular program. So if you have it here, you can also have a once click on it, and this is going to open it on your desktop. If you want to pin this program onto your taskbar in this pane, you just right click, and when you right click, you are going to have these options, and you are going to choose the more options. In the next option, you see that we have unpinned from taskbar. Because I already have the program on my taskbar, I have this information displayed as unpinned from taskbar. So if you don't have it on the taskbar, you're going to have pinned to taskbar. You can also use this scroll bar and scroll to find Microsoft Excel, and as I am scrolling, I can see Excel in this area, and I can also launch Microsoft Excel from this point of view. And if you want to pin as usual, you can right click, go to more, and choose pin to taskbar. You can also click on this search box to search for Microsoft Excel, and as you can see, I have top apps here. These are the top apps I used to work on my computer desktop, but I have Excel shown in this recent area. And if I want to launch Excel, I can also click on this program to launch, and you can also use this procedure to pin the program onto your taskbar by right clicking, and you're going to see the option as pin to taskbar. You can also click in the search box and search for Microsoft Excel. And as you can see, I have the best match displayed in the start menu, and have this program here. I can right click and also pin to taskbar. You can also left click to launch. So let's click on this to launch Microsoft Excel. Now, this is the starting page, and also known as the home page of Microsoft Excel, and this is the interface you're going to have whenever you start this program. And at the left pane, we have the recent pane, and below the recent pane, these are the documents I have recently worked with it, and it is shown in this area. Therefore, if I want to have some changes or editing to any of these documents, I can just click on it to open and start operating with my data. And when you come below this recent pane, we have an option known as open other workbooks. So if you click on this, this will jump you to this interface where you have the option to choose any workbook you have created with this particular program, and that is under the recent option. When you click on this OneDrive, you have this location where you can save your important or sensitive document into this area, and this needs the help of the internet connection. So if you have any document saved into your OneDrive, you can only access those files or workbook by connecting to the internet. We have this PC where we have so many files and folders stored on our this PC. So if you have any workbook that is stored on this particular location, you can come to this pane and click to open and work with it. We also have add a place where you can move to OneDrive or OneDrive for Business, and this also needs the help of the internet access. The next one is browse. When you click on this, this will open the file explorer of your computer system, and you can navigate through your navigation pane or the folders in this dialog box and search for any document you have created with Microsoft Excel and open it from this section. So these are the options you have whenever you click on the open workbooks in the starting page. Now, when you come to the right side, we have templates available in Microsoft Excel, and the first one is blank workbook. You have the billing statement, you have blood pressure tracker, we have expense reports, we also have loan amortization, and we have personal monthly budget. So if you have a worksheet that you want to create that relates to any of these templates in Excel, you can just click on it and work with it, because these are predefined templates which can reserve you more time without going through a new workbook. So these are the templates available in Excel. You also have the option to click in this search box to search for any template that you want, and when you do so, you are going to have the option to search for templates over the internet or within the Excel program. Now let's click on blank workbook to start allocating our features in this program. Now this is the interface of Microsoft Excel known as the front stage view, and this is where most of the related commands are available that can help an Excel user to control this particular program. Now the next feature I am going to look at is the backstage view, and this backstage view can be found under the file menu. So when you move to the top left corner and click on this command, which is the file menu, you are going to have this backstage view, which also help in controlling this program. And the first option you see is the info command, and when you click on the info command, this is the interface related to this command, and there are some options you can observe in this interface. Now the first option is protect workbook, and under this command it says control what types of changes people can make to this workbook, that is applying restriction to your workbook. So when you click on the drop down arrow, we have these options under the protect workbook. The first one is mark as final. This option can be applied to your workbook by making your document a read only, and also signifying to whoever is going to receive this workbook as a final workbook, which is going to restrict you from editing or formatting the workbook. That is the option as mark as final. The next one is encrypt with password. This is where you are going to encrypt your workbook with a password. Therefore, if anytime you want to open this workbook, you have to key in your password to access your workbook. The next one is protect current sheet. That is, if you have 2 or more worksheets in your workbook, you can protect only the current worksheet to prevent people from editing or making changes to the data available in that worksheet. The next one is protect workbook. That is to protect the entire workbook with a password to prevent people from adding sheets and also editing your workbook structure. The next one is to restrict access, and this also needs the help of the internet to restrict people to have the ability to edit and copy or print this particular workbook. And the last one is to add a signature, that is a digital signature to your workbook, and whoever is going to receive this workbook is going to see your signature, and that is to ensure the integrity of the workbook by adding an invisible digital signature. These are the options under the protect workbook. The next one is to check for issues, and that is to inspect your workbook before publishing this file. Be aware that it contains the author's name and absolute path. So whenever you create a workbook on your computer system with this special program, the author's name will be available and the path will also be available. So when we come to this side, we have the author's name. You can add author's name here, and this is the current author name for this computer system. So this is the name that is going to appear in the workbook when published. When you click on the drop down arrow, we have inspect document. This is where you are going to check the workbook for hidden properties or personal information. We also have check accessibility, that is to check the workbook for content that people with disabilities might find difficult to read. So you have to check those accessibility depending on the personal disability of the individual. You have to check this workbook for content that people with disability might find it difficult to read. You also have check compatibility, that's just to check for features not supported by earlier versions of Excel. So this option also help if you have the previous versions that do not have the current features. It will be very difficult for that previous version to use this particular workbook. So you have to check this compatibility. The next one is manage workbook, and this is to check in and check out and recover unsaved changes. So if accidentally you close unsaved workbook, when you come to this option, you have the option to recover the unsaved workbook and also to delete unsaved workbook to free up space on your hard disk drive. You also have browse view option. This is to pick what users can see when this workbook is viewed on the web. So these are the options under the info command. We also have properties, that is, this is going to display the size of the workbook, the title, the tag, categories, and also give you the related dates, that is the last modified, created, and last printed dates. And this is going to give you a clear view on your workbook. When you go to the next command, which is the new command, you also have the option to choose a template from this section. And as we discussed earlier in the starting page, we also have this search box you can use to search for templates and work with it in Microsoft Excel. The next one is the open command, and this also helps you to access other saved workbook on your computer system, and this was also discussed in the starting page. The next one is the save command, and this is used to save your workbook. And as you can see, I clicked on the save command, but Microsoft Excel has directed me to use the save as command. Why? Because this workbook is a new workbook. Therefore, to save this new workbook, you have to use the save as command. The difference between the save and save as command is the save is used to save an existing workbook, and the save as is used to save a new created workbook within Microsoft Excel. The next command is the print command, and this gives you the print configuration interface, and you have the option to choose the number of copies you want. And when you are done with your configuration, you can click on this button. You also have the option to choose the type of printer connected to your computer system in this pane. And also when you come below, we have settings. This is where you can print active sheets. You can also print entire workbook. You can also print selection based on your requirements. You come here, you have other options you can choose from this print setup configuration, and when you are satisfied, you just click on this button to print your workbook. You also have share command. This is where you can share with people. You can also save to your cloud. You can also email this workbook as an attachment. You can also create a link, send as PDF, and also send as XPS. So all these options are under the share command in the file menu. The next one is export. This is where you can export your workbook as a PDF. You can also change the file type of your workbook. And we have the next one, which is the close command. And this option, when you click on it, is going to close the active workbook you have within Microsoft Excel. So when I click on this and go back to my title bar, you can see that I have the name of the program, but I do not have the name of the workbook. This means that I have closed the current workbook in Microsoft Excel. And the next one is account. When you click on it, this gives you the information about the computer system and also the product that you are using. So under this, I have the user information, and this is what is displayed according to my account. We also have office background, and currently I have the calligraphy background selected for the office. So if I want to change this, I just click on drop down arrow and choose any of these options. And as you can see, I am hovering the pointer on this option, and you can have the preview in this area. So whatever option that you want, you just left click, and that is going to apply the effect to the background. We also have the office theme, and currently I am using the dark gray. When you click on this drop down arrow, you can choose colorful, and that is going to change your office theme. You can also change to white. So based on your requirements, you can choose any of this option and apply to your office theme. You also have the product information here, and I am using Microsoft Office Pro Plus 2016, and these are the program involved in the suite. So this is the information of Microsoft Excel. You can also click on this button to have more information about this program. Now let's move back to our front stage view, and this is the front stage view. We are also going to identify some necessary features in this area. The first feature I am going to talk about in this front stage view is the control box, and the control box is located at the top right corner of this interface. So when you move to this area, you can see that we have this control box that consists of the close button, restore button, minimize button, and also the maximize button. Now the close button is used to close this program completely from the desktop. So when you click on this button, you're going to have this program vanishing from the desktop, and if you want to access the program, you have to go back to your start button and reopen. The next one is the restore down button, and this resize the maximize view of this window to a smaller size. So when I click on this, this is going to reduce the size of this window. So as you can see, we have reduced this program to a smaller window. And between the minimize and the close button, we have another button that is called the maximize button, and this also helps you to enlarge your window to fully cover the desktop. So when I click on this, this is going to cover the desktop and there is no space. Now the difference between the restore and the maximize button is this helps you to resize the window according to your elevation. So using the restore down option, you can resize your window, but when you have the maximize option, you can't resize the window. There's no way you can have the edges of this window and resize. So the difference between this restore and maximize button is one allows you to resize the window and one do not allow you to resize the window. And the next one is the minimize button, and this close the program temporarily to the taskbar. So when I click on it, I have my desktop and the program is closed temporarily from the desktop. And to have the program back to the desktop, I move my pointer to the taskbar and click on the program once, and I'm going to have the program back onto my desktop. So that is the feature in Microsoft Excel known as the control box. The next one is the quick access toolbar, which is located at the top left corner of the window. Now when you move to the top left corner, this is the quick access toolbar, and we have some commands available as redo. We have the save command, and also we have the undo command. We have this arrow here that gives us the screen tip customize quick access toolbar, and this arrow will help you to customize your quick access toolbar. And this quick access toolbar displays simple commands for easy access that can help you to operate very well in Microsoft Excel. Now when you click on this drop down arrow, you have these options that contains commands. So if I want any of these commands to be on my quick access toolbar, I just have a click on the command, and now you can see that I have added the new command to my quick access toolbar. I can click and choose open, and that is also going to add the command to the quick access toolbar. So you can use this procedure to add commands to your quick access toolbar. Now if you want to add more commands which are not available here, you can click on this arrow and choose this option known as the more commands, and you are going to get this interface, and you make sure that your quick access toolbar is selected here. We have two sections here. These are the commands in Microsoft Excel, and these are the available commands on the quick access toolbar. Therefore, if you want to add commands to your quick access toolbar, you just select the command and click on add, and you can see that now the copy is added to the quick access toolbar. You can move through, select add, select add. So you can move through and select most of your commands you frequently use in Microsoft Excel and add them to your quick access toolbar. So after selecting your commands, you come to this section and click on OK. Now when you move back to your quick access toolbar, you can see that we have these commands added to the quick access toolbar. That is the copy, the cut, and also the font. And these are the commands we chose from the interface. And also if you want to add commands to your quick access toolbar from this ribbon, so let's assume you want to have this merge and center on your quick access toolbar, you just right click on it and click on add to quick access toolbar. You're going to have the merge and center on your quick access toolbar, and this is the option here. If you want to add this command, conditional formatting, you can right click and choose add to quick access toolbar. You can also go to your insert tab, and if you want to add pivot table, you can right click and choose add to quick access toolbar. If you want to add pictures to your quick access toolbar, you can select pictures, add to quick access toolbar, right click shapes, add to quick access toolbar, and you can see that I am adding multiple commands onto my quick access toolbar. So anytime I want to access these commands, I just click on it, choose an option, and have my inserted shape into my workbook. So this is how the quick access toolbar works, and this is how to also customize your quick access toolbar. The next command is the title bar, and that is the bar that contains the name of the program, the name of the workbook, the control box, and also the quick access toolbar. So this title bar is very important in every window. It helps you to have the name of the program and also the name of the file or workbook that you are working with it. And this title bar works along with the control box and also the quick access toolbar, and it is commonly found in most of the programs on our computer system, especially when you open the file explorer. This is my file explorer, and you can see that on the title bar I have the name of the file explorer and also the control box and as well as the quick access toolbar. So this title bar is common in most of the open programs on our computer desktop. The next feature is the menu bar, and this is located below the quick access toolbar or the title bar, and this is the menu bar that contains options, and we have the file, home, insert, page layout, formulas, data, review, and view. You also have this tell me what to do feature as well. Now when you click on the file menu, you have these options under the file menu. So these tabs contains their commands and also their ribbons. When you come to the home tab, we have these groups which contains their related commands. So when you come to the clipboard, you have the cut, copy, paste option. When you come to the font group, you have these commands here. So all these groups have their commands. When you go to the insert tab, you also have these groups which have their commands. And what shows that these are in groups, when you look at the groups, beside the groups you have this thin vertical line that tells you where the group ends. So these are grouped into section, and every section contains their related command. So all these are called ribbon under the insert tab. This is also called the home ribbon under the home tab. So all these have their ribbon and also their related commands. So that is the function of the menu bar. It displays options to choose from. The next one I'm going to talk about is the tell me what to do function. This helps you to access some features in Microsoft Excel if you don't really know the location of these features or command. So let's have an example here. This is a shape, and when I select this shape, I can right click and choose copy. Now if I want to paste this command and I don't know where the paste command is located, I can use this option and search for paste. Now when you type paste in the search box, you are going to get this option, and when you click on it, it will paste the copied item in the clipboard. So if you want to also cut this selected shape, you can click here and click on it once, and this is going to cut the selected shape in this particular workbook. The next feature I'm going to talk about is the name box. Now the name box is located below the clipboard, and this is the name box, and this feature keeps the name of the active cell in Microsoft Excel. So currently you can see that I have selected this cell, and that is the name in the name box, and we have column and row. So this is the name of the cell, and that is displayed in the name box. So if I select this, I have L5, and you can see column L, row 5 together form a cell, and this becomes a current cell or the active cell, and that name is going to be found in the name box. So that is the function of the name box. The next one I'm going to talk about is row. Rows are positioned horizontally in Microsoft Excel, and they are identified by numbers. So as you can see here, we have row 1, and this is horizontally located here. You have row 2, row 3, row 4, row 5, row 6. So this is another feature in Microsoft Excel. The next one is column. Columns are identified by letters and also positioned vertically in Microsoft Excel. So these are columns. So we have column A, column B, column C, column D, column E. So these are columns available in Microsoft Excel, and they are positioned vertically in Microsoft Excel. The next one is the formula bar, and this is the formula bar, and as you can see, I have placed my pointer on the formula bar, and I have the screen tip as formula bar, and this feature keeps the content of the active cell. So whatever cell that you have selected, any data type that is inputted into that cell is going to be displayed in this formula bar. So when I click in this, which has the I5 in the name box, and I type something into this cell, you can see that when I move back to the formula bar, I have the content in this cell displayed in the formula bar. When I click on this cell, because I have nothing in this cell, you're also going to have nothing in the formula bar. But if you type something in this cell, it will be displayed in the formula bar. So as you can see, this content is also shown in the formula bar. So the difference between the formula bar and the name box is this keeps the name of the active cell, and this keeps the content of the active cell. So that is the formula bar. The next feature I am going to talk about is the worksheet, and this space you see here, that is in the form of a grid and is the combination of columns and rows, and this forms the worksheet, and this is the active worksheet we are working with it. And the worksheet contains cells which are formed by the combination of rows and columns. So this is another feature in Microsoft Excel, and this is where the data manipulation always occur, and that is the worksheet. The next feature I am going to talk about is the cell. When we say cell in Excel, cell is the intersection of row and column, or it is the intersection of column headers and row numbers. So if I select this particular cell, we have column F selected and also row 7 selected, and these form a particular cell, and we can have the cell name in the name box. And these cells that are not selected also have the combination of rows and columns. So it doesn't matter whether it is an active cell or a passive cell. All these are called cells. So a cell is the intersection of rows and columns in Microsoft Excel. The next one I'm going to talk about is the scroll bar, and as you can see, we have this vertical scroll bar and also the horizontal scroll bar. The vertical scroll bar helps us to move up and down within the worksheet. So if you have large data in this worksheet, you can use this scroll bar to move up and down to view most hidden data in this worksheet, as well as this also helps you to move left and right within the worksheet to identify your data available. So this is also another feature in Microsoft Excel. The next one is passive cell. Passive cell are cells which are not active in the worksheet. Now currently this is the active cell that we have here, and these cells that we have are called passive cells. So these cells are not active now, so they are called passive cell. And this is also another feature known as active cell. Cell that is being selected, it has a border around the cell that indicates that this is an active cell and these are passive cell. The next one I'm going to talk about is the sheet tab that is located here, and you can see that currently I have one worksheet open in this Microsoft Excel window. So this area is known as the sheet tab, which can contain multiples of worksheets. So if I click on this plus sign, I have another worksheet here, another worksheet. So I have 3 worksheets available, and this is the worksheets we are using in these tutorials. You can also create more worksheets here. To add more worksheets, you can right click and choose insert to insert worksheets. You can also navigate through these worksheets by right clicking on this, and you're going to have this dialog box that says sheet 1, sheet 3, sheet 4. If you want to move to sheet 4, you just click on it and click on OK, and that is going to select the sheet 4 for you, and you can work with it in Microsoft Excel. So this is the sheet tab. The next one I want to talk about is the workbook. Workbook in Microsoft Excel is the combination of 2 or more worksheets. So on the sheet tab, you can see we have this sheet 1, sheet 3, sheet 4, and these 3 sheets come together to form a workbook. So if I save this workbook is going to contain these 3 worksheets. Now on the title bar, we have this book 1, which is the default name. Let's save this workbook and give it a desired name. So you go to file, you choose save as, and let's browse to choose the desktop, and let's give a simple file name. Then we click on save. Now we have this new file name given to our workbook. So when we close this workbook is going to contain these 3 worksheets. So therefore, workbook is a combination of 2 or more worksheets in Microsoft Excel. The next one I want to talk about is the status bar, which is found below the sheet tab, and this area is called the status bar, and this gives the current information of the active worksheet in Microsoft Excel. So whatever operation that you are performing in this worksheet, this status bar is going to give you the information about it. And when you right click on it, you have the option to select any of the option here, and that is going to display on the status bar. So all these tick options that we have here, when you perform any function within this worksheet, you are going to have the information or the current information displayed on the status bar, and that is the function of the status bar. We also have the zoom area or the zoom box here that helps you to zoom out and zoom in within your worksheet. So if I click on this, this is going to zoom out. When I click on it, this is going to zoom in, so that I can have clear view of whatever is happening in this Excel window. So these are the features of Microsoft Excel, and when you have a hand of it, this is going to help you to control this particular program perfectly on your computer desktop. Thank you, and see you in the next video.